Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Warren Bennett and we've got Trev mooching around the house somewhere, I think, so I'm sure he's going to make a guest appearance or two. This video is all about what exercises that we can do indoors to improve our golf, because here in the UK the daylight hours are getting much shorter and the weather's turning a little bit, so our chance to play or practice is going to be quite limited. And especially during the winter months when it gets dark at 4 or 5 o'clock here in the UK. So being able to kind of do a few little exercises around the house, make some small adjustments can be a big help for you to kind of, when you get back into more consistent playing and more regular playing, it can really help you. So first things first, let me make a cup of tea and I'll be with you in a minute. Coffee's delivered, got the tray. Now this is one of the early videos I did, hold the tray, and I did this in the academy, so I'll put a description below, I'll put the link below to that video. So hold the tray, this is all about getting the hands open coming down and kind of getting your chest shut. So what you want to do halfway down your downswing is you want to open up your hand and keep the tray as flat as you can. This is great for you guys who come over the top and want to shallow it out a little bit more, because you guys who come over the top are kind of a bit more right side dominant. You can see all the drinks will be spilled. So you can hands either side like a prayer grip, make your backswing. So from here you kind of want to really feel like this position halfway down. My right elbow is going to have to come into my side. And it's really, even for me, that really feels like, wow, I'm really shut. And it's going to be, from a golf position, it's a little bit exaggerated, but that's the feeling. So you can do a few of those. Up to the top, drop. So you can see I'm like a twisting my hand. And then from there, you can do this open feeling. So my right palm is up. And now we need to get back into to impact. So you don't keep your right palm up at impact. We now need to learn to release this back to square. So I'm not doing it with my shoulders, I'm just doing it with my hands and arms. So it's basically what's called forearm rotation. So you're practicing a little bit of shallowing, shutting your chest off as well, keeping it as flat as possible, making it as flat as possible. Wow, that's really keeping me back behind the ball as well. Then from there, you release. So hold the tray feeling and you can blend it all up. Back swing, downswing, release. Backswing, downswing, release. So that's a fantastic exercise to do while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. So you can do little breakdowns like that, and then you can try and blend it all up. It's going to be exaggerated a little bit, but that's the feeling you want to try and get. And you don't want to do this as much as this when you obviously hit a ball, because this is much more exaggerated than you need. But it's really going to show you the kind of positions you need to feel when you come and play and practice. Okay, so hold the tray is a great one. That's the first one. Let's go on to the next one. Right folks, so second one's all about how we can improve our separation, so between top half and bottom half. A lot of people who struggle with path and speed always have a too dominant top half, so this is a great one. So your feet need to be a little bit away from the countertop. So there's two areas you can do this. The less flexible, we'll need to just put it by their side, and what you're looking for here, you're looking to twist your belly button and your belt buckle into the worktop. So you're moving off your right side, kicking everything through, and there, so you can practice being able to pivot. And we always talk about, don't we, pivoting on the way back, getting this belly button turning through the ball. What does pivot feel like? If you really want to get moving, the further away from the cabinet you get, the harder it is to move. If you get pretty close, and I would say recommend, if you struggle with that, is to get some movement and get some rotation round, to get a bit closer. And then you can get a little bit further away gradually as you get used to it. Great to know if you want to try and feel like what this rotation and this left pocket does. It comes back and hits doesn't just slide, goes forward and round. That's for the less flexible. For the more flexible, you can kind of put your hand out in front of you and you need to twist. So you're just holding this top half, keeping that a little passive, and you're doing the same thing. If you're not sure, you can kind of just lift it up a little bit and just let it go with you a little bit. So the shoulder's going to go round because you're not actually statically holding on. There you go. So you're just trying to keep your left arm out in front of you for a bit longer. So it's a great exercise to be able to kind of feel some separation, because what you want to do at the top of the backswing, you want to kind of move forward, which is what you're feeling here. You're moving into the cabinet and then twist. Moving into the cabinet and twist. A lot of people I see struggle with path and speed and being able to educate their hands. They kind of sit back too long on their right side, and you can see from the front view they'll come away from that on the downswing. It's a real killer. What you want to do, you can see from the front view, is a little bit more lateral. So from the top of the backswing, you can imagine I'm here, top of the backswing, there's a lateral movement and a rotation as well. So remember, a little bit of separation. For those of you guys who are kind of maybe a little bit physically won't be able to do it, just let everything go. You'd rather have some rotation than none. But if you can introduce just a little bit of passive top half, it's really going to feel a nice stretch. Remember, really get your right foot off the ground. Narrower the stance, the better. And it's able to twist, twist. Good pivot exercise. Okay, let's get on to the next one. Right, so this exercise is all about how we can keep our head still and give us the feeling about keeping the head still in the transition and coming down into impact, because like we say in a lot of our videos, what you don't want to do from the top of the backswing is get lateral with your top half, which is basically your head. If you can keep your head back, it will enable your shoulders to work a little bit more effectively, a bit more of a tilt. And what we don't do is obviously don't just keep your head there and just swing and keep everything stationary. The feeling, you can see it from the behind view, the feeling is to be able to keep your head still while it all moves around that, keeping your axes, which is your top of your head, still while other things work around it. And if you can do that, other things will work a little bit more effectively and a bit more efficiently. So crossover, so you can do this with your hands hanging down, but I would at the start just cross over. So what you're actually trying to do, you're trying to keep your head against the door frame coming down to the ball. But what I would do is kind of not have your head against the door frame at the very start, just move slightly away from it. So on the backswing, you can kind of then find it on the backswing, because what you want to do on the backswing, if you can see from the front view, is you want to be able to move laterally slightly. You don't want to keep stuck too much. So just keeping away from this a little bit of the side, so it gives you a little bit of movement on the way back to stay there. So twist, then head against the door frame. So I've moved slightly off that centre. Now I'm going to keep my head on the door frame. Oh my word, I think I'm pretty good on my downswing keeping my head, but even this feels, wow. Now from keeping this head nice and still and static, it's really hard to come over the top. So I tried to come over the top. Here you can see it pulls my head away from it. So back into centre, I'm going to work a little bit lateral over to my right, find the door frame. From there, I can't make a full follow through, by the way. I'm going to have a rubber neck otherwise. So you're just going to keep kind of back into impact position. My right leg is coming in. I can't kick fully too much. So get off your right side and keep your head there. Kind of your eyes are keeping nice and level. So let's do this with kind of an imaginary golf swing. So I'm off the door frame, back on the door frame, and I'm staying there, allowing my arms to drop. So this is a really good one because it kind of allows your arms to kind of fall back into the same position as they start. Good for you over the top as they get outside too early as well. And just keep doing a few of those. Nice and gently Bentley. You can back in, down, back in, down. Top of the backswing, remember, top of the backswing into impact. Very quick, isn't it? So we can't really feel what's going on. So little exercises like this are an absolute beauty, because remember what we always say is to find the one thing that cures four. And this is an absolute beauty, because you keep your head back here and move everything, get some weight shift moving off your right side onto your left. It enables your arms to fall down in the slot so much better. And then from when you play, you can transfer that feeling over. Even if you want to go full swing here, nice and slow, off the door frame, back on, down, then off. Remember, it doesn't stay there all the time. So let's do that again. On the door frame, stay there, back off. There we go. Okay, let's do another one. On the door frame, keep your head off my right side, leg through, weight from my shoulder, up. It's really great exercise to kind of really feel how the professionals get in this position here, don't they? They're not up and out waiting for it, looking for it too much, I mean. Okay, so the old door frame exercise, one of the best exercises you can do at home, because it is one of those exercises that can improve 4 things as well. Right, let's go on to another one. Here he is. Oh, Trev. Guess who's joined us? I know he won't keep out the videos for too long. Give him a little treat. He's been on the beach today, so that's why he's looking a little bit ragged, like his owner. Right, so this is all about hip depth. So it's to give us the feeling about what hip depth is. So you want to stand a little bit further away, take your golf posture. Obviously, the further away from the counter you have your posture, the harder this is. So I've kind of, what have I got? Golf ball away from it there. Okay, golf posture. Let's get in the centre. Right, so what you want to do, you want to try and get this pocket. It's not far away enough. You want to try and get this pocket back into that counter. That's obviously exaggerated a little much. You don't want to straighten this right leg at all. So right pocket into the counter. On the way down, you want to try and keep your backside rolling across the counter there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I'm into my pocket, so you can see there's some gap at the start. Pocket into the counter, and I'm keeping it back, keeping it back, keeping it back. Now the secret to this is on the way down, I'm not keeping it back and lifting my head back as well. I'm keeping angle, so I'm keeping my head where it is as well. So I'm not lifting to try and do that as well. Right, so bum away from the counter. You might have to experiment the distance, maybe a bit far. Really, really push that pocket back and then keep it all the way through. Keep your head there, and that's a really great one. Do 10 of those every time you come into the kitchen. Back, drop your hands, keep your weight back, keep your head where it is, which is improving your spine angle, which allows your arms to drop a little bit more, as you can see from the behind view, hopefully. Nice and shut there, and all the way through. And it's a good one for the follow through as well, because it allows your left pocket to go back behind you, instead of standing up, which is a real, if you suffer from a lack of lag coming down, and you're a bit of a caster, this is a really good one, because there's a steering wheel behind keeping that. Because remember, if you've got a golf club that's, let's say an iron, really good compression, keeping that angle. If you've got an iron that's going 80, 90 miles an hour, there's only so much wrist strength we've got to keep that angle. So it can hold it till about here, but it's going so quick, centrifugal force will throw it out. So to be able to keep those hands rotating and keeping them going forward, you need rotation to do that. Just a little bit. You don't have to be Rory McIlroy here. Just a little bit of left pocket back all the way through. Great feeling about how much, and you can obviously step away from it as much as you can and really feel it away from you as much as you can. Then transfer that over to the golf course. So that's a great one for hip depth. Let's get on to the next one. This is all about how our body tilts throughout the golf swing. This is a great one, and we've all done it probably, and you can do it with a golf club. I'm going to do it obviously without one, because this is indoor exercises. You don't want to break the chandelier if you've got one. So cross over. So if you had a golf club in your hand, you're holding it with your hands there. So your hands are kind of touching the top of my shoulders there. So what you want to do is get into your golf posture, and you want your left shoulder to be pivoting and tilting down under your hip, under your chin. You don't want your shoulder to be rising up here. And a lot of people, especially beginners, they pivot too high and their left shoulder goes too up, and they're going to need to make a big correction to get down to the ball, which can be inconsistent. So you want to twist, keep that belly button working, but shoulder under. Then 2 ways. If you're over the topper, you want to feel this right shoulder a bit lower going down. You can see from the behind view it's quite tilted under. If you're a hooker, and a pusher of the ball. You want to try and feel this right shoulder coming a little bit more round. So there's two areas. The majority of you guys are probably going to be over the toppers, so you want to feel a little bit more right shoulder under your chin. So it's a left shoulder under, right shoulder under. And then you can look up at the ends. You can see from the behind view, I've still got my shoulder tilt and I've still got my spine tilt. In a perfect world, it will come up very slightly at the end, but this is all about keeping your tilt throughout the whole swing here. So you can keep looking down if you like. If you're a peaker, you can keep looking down. And at the very end, you want to introduce a little bit of head. There you go. So left shoulder down. I can really feel the coil in my stomach there. And then left shoulder under my chin and then up. Left shoulder down, right shoulder down. You can see at my finish, if I just tilt my head up, my eyes at the finish are kind of at this angle still. A lot of people I see who struggle kind of look at it too early and too flat. So it's a great one for spine angle, folks. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Left shoulder, right shoulder. And just keep doing that for 2 or 3 minutes. You can see all these exercises we do is building up a little portfolio, a little bit of library and kind of improvements and showing your body away from the golf swing, because as we know, golf swings are just kind of a flash in your minute, miss it, and you haven't really got any kind of awareness time. Doing like exercises like these, a great bridge between being able to kind of practice and play and introducing new things to your golf swing, because as we know, practicing and changing something whilst you're hitting a golf ball is very, very difficult, because a lot of people feel like they're making some big changes, and when they actually put it on the camera, it's minute, and that can be quite, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Discouraging. But these exercises, you can really kind of ramp them up a little bit and really make them kind of exaggerated a little bit. So like I did with those shoulder tilts, you really get those shoulders coming down. When you think about it, if these shoulders are going down, very hard to come over the top like that, right? So introduce my arms, you can see it's a massive tilt under. I'm going to snap hook it starting right from there. Completely opposite to someone who's kind of a little bit tilted the other way and right shoulder too dominant. So these exercises can be a great bridge between you wanting to introduce something new to your golf swing and being able to actually execute that golf swing as well. And right, so that's a little introduction to kind of little exercises that we can do at home to improve our golf swings and improve our feel as well. I might do a few more, obviously there are a lot more, but if you can start with those 5, you won't go far wrong. So until the next time, which is going to be Friday, I'll see you soon. For myself and a very sleepy Trev in the lounge, I'll see you on Friday. Many thanks. Cheerio.